Let's take a look now at some of the playback options that you have with Submasters on the EOS. And to look at this, I want to go to my Submaster list. I will double hit my sub key to open up the list. Now here in the list, in addition to doing common things like labeling your Submaster or changing its timing, there are some other items here that we want to get into a little bit more detail. Just moving across the screen, we want to go to the mode column. This is where you would indicate whether your Submaster is going to be additive, inhibitive, or if you plan on using the Submaster as an effect sub. And any of these things can be changed using the soft keys when you're in the sub list. So you select your sub number and hit the soft key that corresponds to the function you're looking for, and it will update the value here in the table. The next column over is fader, and this primarily deals with Submasters that contain non-intensity parameters, and this is covered in greater detail in another section. So the two options here would be proportional and intensity master. The next column over is HTP LTP, and this is pretty self-explanatory. This is where you would indicate whether your Submaster is going to be HTP or LTP, and this is for intensity values only. Non-intensity parameters are LTP in Submasters. The exclusive column is where you would indicate whether or not the Submaster is to be exclusive. An exclusive Submaster has all of its contents excluded from record functions. So if you want to put house lights or something that you need to have on a handle, but you don't necessarily want to be recorded into cues and everything else when you hit record, this would be the place to do that. It really saves some time because you don't have to do the record minus sub keystroke every single time you want to record. So exclusive subs are a very useful tool here. And finally, independent. This is the same independent VIP club that you can put cue lists in. And again, what this means is that any sub or cue list that's in independent can interact with other subs in cue lists that are also independent, but also interact and maybe even steal control from another Submaster or a cue list that is not independent. And when this Submaster is in independent, any non-independent Submaster or cue list cannot gain control of the contents of that sub. So you can think of that as like a little priority club for Submasters and cue lists. And that is a look at the Submaster playback options available to you on the EOS.